Nissan has offered few compelling reasons to step up from a loaded Altima to Maxima the last few years. There was no 2015 model. 2014s continued to sell until Generation 8 arrived. The 2016 version pulls away from its sibling Inside and Out. Have to wonder if the Nissan designers are trying to out-French their partner Renault. Soft lines flow into something more bold. Lovers gonna love, haters gonna hate here. Maxima can trace its roots all the way back to 1980 when it was brought to the United States as the rear-wheel drive Datsun 810. Remember Datsun? It was also available as a station wagon. The third generation, which by then had ditched the wagon, Datsun name, and rear drive, was marketed as the four-door sports car. If you like Easter eggs, there you go. Nissan serves up 5 distinct models now. None have any option packages. There is one powertrain, a heavily revised 300 horsepower 3.5-liter V6 with 261 pound-feet of torque. The front tires are driven by a continuously variable transmission. Manual gear shifts are simulated. Sport mode changes steering weight, transmission dynamics, even the engine note. This sport-oriented SR gets no power bump, but 0 to 60 in 6 seconds is satisfying. Safety tech includes radar-assisted cruise, plus collision warning and auto-braking that looks 2 cars ahead. Powerful front-wheel drive cars often have torque steer, that's a tugging of the wheel under hard acceleration. It's fairly tame here, I'm not in the ditch, but rear and all-wheel drive cars don't have it. Something to consider if true sport sedan dynamics are what you're after. This does handle pretty well for a front-wheel drive car as long as you don't push it really hard. Power into corners on patchy pavement, and Maxima feels a little jittery, due in part to SR's firmer suspension. Maxima is quiet and stout, with structural rigidity up by 25%. Continuously variable transmissions often have a rubbery, droning dynamic that I do not like. I have to hand it to the engineers at Nissan. They've done a good job of tuning this one to feel like a regular geared box. Fuel economy? Maxima does well in class. Drinking specified premium, it's rated at 22 city, 30 highway by the government. I'm averaging 23 miles per gallon. One gripe I have about the SR, you cannot get the sunroof in this model. Apparently, it reduces rigidity. It raises the center of gravity, too. SR's high-rent interior gets a crafted appearance with Alcantara for your hands, and more stitching than a Levi's factory. There's a fascination with diamonds. The center console is canted towards the pilot, inspired by fighter jets. Sadly, no anti-traffic missiles. If you catch air often, the seats are inspired by the shape of a human spine in zero gravity. The interface is intuitive, and the screen more crisp than this bad camera angle might suggest. I am 5'9", which is one of the many reasons why I'm not an NBA player. It does happen to be the average size of an adult, though, and I am perfectly happy back here. But competitors Impala, Lacrosse, and Avalon have more legroom. No power port. The raised center position means smaller folks should fill the middle. I am awfully curious how Maxima's trunk space stacks up against sister Altima's. Yes, I am fascinating at parties. Hauling long cargo is no problem. Altima can pack 7 bundles. These hinge arm protectors take up space. It means less usable room. That is an easy 6. Starting at about $33,200, SR models retail for $38,500, encroaching on a well-equipped rear-drive Infiniti Q40. Maxima lives in a curious spot between that and Altima, with a design that's all its own. 3 other cars to compare are Acura TLX, Chrysler 300, and Dodge Charger. The last 2 are rear drive. All 3 can be outfitted with all-wheel drive. Maxima has interesting tech that helps smooth out bumps. SR has electronic chassis management that uses braking after bumps to keep body movements controlled. The car can also detect sleepy drivers and suggest a Starbucks break. Like I need an excuse for that. There you go, folks. That is my opinion of the 2016 Nissan Maxima SR. Remember, as always, you can go to thenewyorktimes.com and see these videos a couple weeks earlier than you do here. No, you don't have to subscribe. You get 10 free views a month. That's Driven. I'm Tom Voelk.